Good evening. The sonnet is here. It is once again a Petrarchan sonnet. I'll describe it, then I'll read it. Petrarchan sonnet, which the octet is in trochaic pentameter, and the sestet is in iambic pentameter. I thought this would make the volta, the change that takes place upon the ninth line, a little bit more striking. I'm not entirely pleased with it. I promised a badass poem. I can see that it's a little bit raw. It's also not weed aided in any way because not one but two guys failed to deliver. I'm telling you, there's something about that, but that's another lecture. There's a way of weed that it tends to take with the left hand what it gives with the right. I've got some reconsidering to do there that perhaps I should have done a long time ago, perhaps not. But let me read this, and maybe I'll read it twice. Depends on the timing. When I started today, all I had was the first line and the last line. This was not easy at all. Here we go. It doesn't have a title yet. People's war won't make the garden sprout. Paradise on earth is never caught. It outruns the quickest ocelot, leaving all the faithful in devout. Overpromised joy will flatten out, distant like a tiny polka dot, mocking me beyond my rifle shot, even as the foe has fled in rout. This doesn't mean we oughtn't give a fart. My need was real to crank the thermostat or take the winter cold into my heart and hunger while denied the apple cart. To make myself the perfect cosmocrat, reducing expectations half the art. And actually, it doesn't make any sense to read that again because you can simply go backwards on this. I'm going to take my evening walk now, and I've got a couple of guys I've got to fire from their appointed jobs. I think I'm going to stay clean until, at least until Vegas, which won't be difficult. 4 weeks to go, then I'll celebrate legally. I hope you enjoyed the poem. I can see some weaknesses there, but there's always toying around to do with that sort of thing. Sometimes drastically so. Now, wait a second. I always like to take off my glasses self-importantly at some point. Ta-da! I'll read it once again. Why not? It's only 3 minutes and 50 seconds into this. Here we go. No title yet. I tend to think that a line from the poem is always going to be a better line than some stitched on title. It always is. It always is. People's war won't make the garden sprout. Paradise on earth is never caught. It outruns the quickest ocelot, leaving all the faithful in devout. Overpromised joy will flatten out, distant like a tiny polka dot, mocking me beyond my rifle shot, even as the foe has fled in rout. This doesn't mean we oughtn't give a fart. My need was real to crank the thermostat, or take the winter cold into my heart, and hunger while denied the apple cart. to make myself the perfect cosmocrat, reducing expectations half the art. Hope you enjoyed it. It wasn't exactly fun to write, but sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. All the best.